floor, there's no doubt about it. And we need to obviously clearly discuss that and work that out, why we were with 3 shots on target, they scored 3 goals, they played through us too often. The thing with Motherwell is, and the manager's done a really good job there, just when you think you've worked them out, we've seen this in previous games, they'll tweak the front line and they'll pose you different questions, and it's a constant game of chess to try and make sure. Now, if you play a deeper line against Motherwell and you let them have the ball and you say come and break us down, then I think it maybe make it a bit more difficult for them. But they almost invite the press, they want you to come after them, and they worked it out in more than too many occasions for my liking. And for us, we lose a poor first goal. The first goal at Tynecastle is so important. I've been about Scottish football long enough that everything is so much more difficult when you go behind here, and everything's so much more easier when you get that first goal. And we lose such a poor goal for set play. We give up too much space at the edge of the box. You see Watt, you see Slattery, both players who can strike the ball. We should almost allow the first pass to go out, and we give up too much space. And what happens, the deflection that goes in. So everything seems a wee bit more difficult than it needed to be. And I just thought that Motherwell were really good at finding the space in the middle of the park. You know, we needed an extra body in there second half, which we did. And I thought that helped to an extent, but it wasn't immediate. We've got to be honest, the change of shape and that extra body in there, you can't sit here and say that the change has helped at that point. But we've still got too many here who are still playing the way that they want to play, and we need to be all in with what we're asking them. So we commit and we do it well, and we become absolutely brilliant with our work against the ball. And it's that sort of stuff that will help give us a bit more encouragement when you play against teams who want to be possession based. Still think we need to stay calm when there's a bit of anxiety in the stadium, and I think we need to stay calm and back ourselves and have that confidence. And you'd have to say, up until Harry scored the goal, that wasn't the case. Thought our subs all came on with a point to prove. Spittle gave us a bit of inspiration, calmness, quality. He played into strikers' feet, which we've been working on all week. We've been speaking about it. He played beyond the press, and there was space to go in behind, as we've seen with Claudio's efforts. Beningame at times had good influence in the game. Kazaridis, Frankie Kent came on with a point to prove, which is what you're always looking for. And I just thought we had to turn to our bench, no more so than me, Claudio. Claudio is on at the weekend, last weekend from hell, feels that responsibility, and he feels much more better about himself. And he can be that talisman for us when he plays in that sort of vein, and he's playing in that sort of kind of free-flowing, confidence oozing at him. And when we got the first goal, all of a sudden you thought maybe, and everybody thought that maybe there's just something here for us. We get the second one, and you're thinking just don't run out of time. And we get the third one, we hit the post, we had a few things fizzing about. I think we ran out of time to win the game. And it's that third goal that it was an absolute killer for us, and we need to improve as we go along. So I'm still finding out about my team. They need to find out about me as well as we go along. But you know, while we're still trying to get that, the spirit they showed, the togetherness, the fight, the tenacity, just to get something for that game. And sometimes points. I've been here long enough in Scotland where very few Hearts teams get applauded off like that for a point, but they earned that applause. I thank the fans for giving the players that. It feels like a good point now, but in the cold light of day, we know we need to be better as we go on.
Managers need to trust their players. Is Claudio Braga one of those players now that you're going to trust, that you might think, listen, I'm going to throw him in from the start? Is he that type of Derek McInnes player that you'll throw in from the start?
No, sometimes when you play Braga and Shanklin together, you feel sometimes they both come towards the ball too much. And I've spoken to Claudio time and time with this, that he has got the ability and the capacity to run spaces and run down the sides of centre backs. You see that today. And sometimes, like a lot of the foreign lads, sometimes their best impacts came from the bench. So Scottish football's unlike any other. It can catch you out with the speed and intensity of it, the physicality of it. So when there's a wee bit more spaces afforded, as it's been with Kazaridis when he's come on, and a wee bit more space afforded in the latter stages of the game there, you see the influence a bit more of these types of players. So we just need to, of course he can play for the start, of course he can, and that's why you see we don't spend the money we spent on him to sit on the bench. So, but there's an understanding for me, and the staff that we're bringing a lot of players in at the minute, and it's that integration and that's good for them. But 3-0 down, seeing Tynecastle is the way it was, how kind of tough it can be to play out there. You don't want to be 3-0 down to find out about your players, but having come through that, then it will serve us well going forward, I'm sure. And the thing for the supporters is they now know they've got a team that's not going to give up. They're not going to give up on them. They're going to just keep going and get something for it. But we have to say we were second best for long periods. Motherwell was a away team, had too many moments of possession and too many moments where they caused us too many problems and gave us a wee bit of a scare. When you look back in the cold light of day, it's probably felt more of a scare than it actually was. But because they were coming and going, wait a minute, this isn't meant to happen, we're Hearts. We're not meant to come here and enjoy the possession. But when you don't get the press right and you don't commit to it, that's what can happen.
Was the idea to go man for man in the middle and try and disrupt them really high up the pitch?
Yeah, well, we think they try and get 4 on our last line. That's the way Motherwell play. They try and get the 4 on the last line. Their first pass is always into their 6s. They want the 6s to get the most touches of the ball. So we wanted to try and negate that if it didn't get them what. And when we did get it right, we did. We kept it in there. We didn't always create opportunities for them, of course, but we wanted to stop them playing their natural game. But the first goal, I think, affected us, to be honest, and we lost a wee bit of confidence. We still needed to commit to playing a wee bit more and look after the pass and try to play around about their shape, and only on 3 or 4 occasions did we actually play into our strikers properly in the first half. So if you think about it, if their fullbacks are going to go tight to our wide ones, as they did do, and it's 2 for 2, if their 6s are against us, our midfield in there, it leaves 2 centre forwards against 2 centre halves, and we were willing to take that on. But there was they were on our last line, we were on their last line. You have to say they did it better. I thought their press was slightly better than ours first half, and their possession of the ball was better than ours.
When you said the players, too many of them are wanting to do what they want to do, is that just about the press?
Yeah, I think just because what we're asking them is maybe a bit different to maybe what they've had in the past. So it's not criticism of the players, but if we're going to be the team that I want us to be, then we're going to have to be all in with that. So and the game of the day was as a test of that. So the players, the headlines from me, the players deserve so much credit. I love being their manager. Situation round into something positive at the end of it.
You've seen the two very different sides of Tynecastle today, especially when it got back to the 3-2, 3-3. When it is tough, do you want the players sometimes to just play forward? Because you hear that sometimes when the ball does go back, or do you want them just to ignore the noise and...
Yeah, not just sell it forward, because that doesn't do any good as well, just playing for bits and pieces, because we've not got a 6'4" centre forward that's going you can play up to. But you do need to be something. You need to be a possession-based team, you need to be a counter-attacking team, or you need to play up to strikers. So what we want us to do is to try and make sure that we cause as much disruption to their backline as we did in the last 25 minutes of the game. They were all of a sudden searching for answers. They were struggling. They were pulling people in left, right, and centre, and we actually had some sort of semblance of control, and we get to where we want to get to. But their press was good. We tried to deepen our back 3 to give us a bit more time, second half, to play the pass, and it did work to an extent into our wing backs when they jumped. And I just thought that we could have played when Forrest and Milne set it for our midfielders. We then, when their 6s come, play into strikers' feet and play and get your way up the pitch. And it was only when Spittle came on we started to do it with any real effect. He hears me sitting on the bench. He sees it playing unfolding, and he actually delivered what we needed at that time. I thought all the subs played a part. I thought Spittle in particular was actually gave us a chance to get at their back lot, and Braga, of course. The good thing is about the bench, and I said that to the players before the game, like, I look at that bench, and even 3 or 4 lads that are in the stands today, if we just flipped everyone in that bench into the starting 11, we're no any weaker. We're no, but we need to try and just show a wee bit more confidence with our work. Motherwell are a good team. I know they've no won yet in the Premier League. I think is it 3 draws now. I thought they were magnificent against Rangers. I thought they were magnificent against St Mirren, and I thought they were magnificent today for long periods. But when we were a wee bit more of us and what I expect of us, we actually start to see a wee bit of flaws and mistakes in them. So that's we go on. It's a good point to end up. We stay unbeaten. We're still at the top end of the league. We came to win the game, so we're disappointed in the cold light of day, but some points are better than others, and when you're 3-0 down and the players respond like that, it's a decent point, so we'll take that.
Cheers.
Thanks.